I start.
Okay.
So what's your view on the question that we ask about the timer found in Togo?
Well, we can't prove anything about the Togo timer. We can neither prove that it was part of the arms cache that was found, as implied in the Crown case, nor prove that it was not. All we know is there are these anomalies surrounding it, and they add to the cloud of doubt that surrounds the timer fragment evidence. And they merely confirm suspicions, and they are in suspicions that evidence was planted. Or they strengthen suspicions, should I say, that evidence was planted. We can't prove that it was planted, but there are certainly some alarming signs, and this is yet another one.
Let's assume for a moment that the timers were indeed planted.
The Togo timers?
Yes.
Yes. When are you thinking they were planted?
Yeah, but also where do they come from? Where would they come from? Do you think they are genuine?
Well, I mean, it was clear that the Western intelligence was watching what Edmund Boyer was doing quite closely, and who knows, he might have been telling them himself. I believe they probably knew that he was supplying these timers and much else to Libya, and maybe he gave them some himself, maybe he passed them on to Western intelligence, maybe they stole some. It's hard to know. I mean, these are all unknowns, but I don't think it's unreasonable to suggest that there might have been that timers might have been taken by the CIA or whichever intelligence service it might have been, French, in advance of the Togo coup attempt.
The next question, we'll never know the answer, so you don't take a big risk by answering. But if we could analyze the tinning of the Togo timer, do you think it would be pure tin, or do you think it would be lead tin?
I don't know. I mean, I would love to know, and it shouldn't be too difficult to find out if anybody had the will to do it on the Crown side, but I wouldn't like to say.
That's a good one. Now, again, a second question, but under the same assumption. Again, if we assume that they were planted, no matter the origin, well, one of them went to the US, the other went to the French. So would you agree that if it's the case, then the French was almost certainly accomplice in that operation?
Yes. I mean, France was at war with Libya effectively, and you know, in the Togo story and the Lockerbie story, the interests of the French are indivisible from those of the US.
Thank you very much, John. Anything else that you would like to add about this Togo very strange story?
No, I just hope one day that we get to the bottom of it. I think your work has added significantly to what we know. And I don't think anybody could look at the evidence as laid out and not be suspicious. There is nothing clear-cut about it, and there are some major question marks over it. And until those are answered.
Maybe just a final question. You remember that in December 1988, Bollier visited Tripoli. I think it was on the 18 to 20, and of course a few days later, some fragment of the MS-T13 timer would be recovered from the debris near Libya. Now, story that we have not spoken about today is, of course, the Senegal timers, and there we have Bollier who visits Tripoli on February 14, leaves on February 17, and 3 days later, 2 Libyans are arrested in Dakar with two MS-T13 timers. So about the story that we covered today, the Togo timer from September 86, would you be surprised if Bollier had taken some vacation in Togo that year?
Well, nothing would surprise me anymore about in this case.
Okay, fair enough. John, I'm going to stop here.
Okay.